Hey guys, welcome back to another Pro632 radio show. Today we have Kyle and Nicole, the Liberty Racing Team duo, I guess. If you were living on a rock, you missed it over the weekend. The IHRA went to Milan for their Pro Mod Mania, and they brought in the Milan's local Friday night race, heads up categories, and what do you know, Pro632. Their version of it is there, and let's go ahead and meet the winners and runner-up, Kyle and Nicole.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Kyle Salmonen. Been running 632 for probably over 5 years now. Started with NMCA, and then did one race at, I believe it was Maryland, in 24 with PDRA. And then last year we did every race. I think we ended up number 4 overall. But that was with me and my dad. Right now I'm driving Nicole's other car, the Cavalier, which, funny enough, they're both Cavaliers, so that kind of worked out good. But, yeah.
And I'm Nicole Liberty. Been racing 632 for 10 years now, between Milan and then NMCA and now, or then PDRA and now Milan, and hopefully some PDRA a little bit later this year. So Kyle won the race last weekend. I runnered up. So yeah.
Now you run it up because of motor issues, correct?
Yeah, we were suspecting one of the injectors might have got clogged or something happened with an injector and completely leaned out number 8. It did some pretty good damage in the semis, and it was not a good idea for us to even try to run it on 7 cylinders for the finals. So,
whose injectors do you use?
Whose injectors?
Yes.
That's a great question.
Question by the look on your face, you're like,
It is, yeah. No, this is bad. I can picture who the guy is. But Steve, it's one of Steve Summers' guys. I cannot think of who it is. This is bad.
We do injectors in my shop, but my machine is not big enough of a column on it to flow like a 1700, like we would use I use an injector dynamic 1700. So I got to finagle the numbers to get the time in for the spray pattern. So if I find one that's like messed up, then I just send it back to Injector Dynamics.
Okay.
And they've been really good with me. And that's the reason why I was asking. Is like I had one starting to go bad, and I kind of knew it when I was in my fuel trim. I'm added. I'm like, there's something going on with that thing. Yeah. And we came back, we shipped it out. They turned around quick, but they gave me, I believe, half price if you have one of their injectors that go bad.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And they must have a pile of them because they, he says, we'll match, we'll balance to what you got. So, you know what I mean? Everything will be the same. And I'm like, okay. And nice. My machine, they all flowed pretty close, within 2 CFM. I mean, how do you?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like.
Yeah, that's close enough for comparison. Yeah.
Right. So, of course, when I got it back, I just reset them all and put it through my machine so I knew what they were, so I had a reference. But yeah, we got a GB800. I just did a set today for somebody. Yeah, it was a machine. I bought a PRI, and it was one of those things that I figured I was going to do a lot of business with it, not so much. So
Dad, tell us about the weekend. How'd everything work with the IHRA and y'all's local class series and the car count? We thought, based off of the weekends before show, they said they're going to have a whole bunch of cars, and the car count wasn't as robust as we thought. But we did have another racer show up that I wasn't tracking was going to be there, which is awesome. Vinny and his feather duster. So. Please tell us about the race, how it worked with the IHRA, how pros, cons from y'all's perspective, and all the above.
I thought it ran really well. It seemed like, it just felt like you were at a normal 3-day event because Thursday was a rental test session, and then you had Friday, Saturday. Friday was qualifying, Saturday was eliminations. We had a little bit of a rain delay a couple times, once Friday and once Saturday. But they got everything back up and running real quick. I feel it. So that's pretty normal for us for our 632 car count is right around like 9 to 12 cars on a really good weekend. So that was in there. Once we got Kyle's in, that was pretty expected for our class. I know people were concerned that like Pro Mod was down. I think they only had 25 entries for such a large pot, but the weather forecast didn't look that great. The rain kept getting pushed off, but initially it did show rain Friday and Saturday, and then the air conditions were horrible. So I don't know if maybe some of that did. But then I also noticed like the spectators weren't that high either. The stands weren't very filled. There was also a NASCAR event going on 2 hours away. So I don't know. I'm guessing just other things going on.
Too many competing events consuming all the gearheads.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I watched it all weekend, and I was like, $125,000. You think there'd be more than what was like 29?
Right, especially because it was shakedown, right, the weekend before. So you would have. I expected people to just take their rig right from Martin 2.5 hours over to Milan and then park it, but I don't know. I guess not.
Yeah, but at that point, you fly home for 2 or 3 days and come back, and it's getting to a point where I think there's too much going on and not enough race cars.
That's
right?
true.
Just too much going on.
Oh yeah.
You know, at some point, people need to take a break. They got to go work. Equipment needs to get worked on. None of us can be like Swanstrom and just drive all over the country and just to race.
I mean, Justin changed his job to racing and social media. So
yeah, that's
then made the decision to turn around and go straight back to the racetrack and put it back together and race the race with a tore up race car and then tear it up again trying to win the race.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'd give him all hats off for
what he's went through a lot. So
like I would be, and I'm sure Patrick would follow me on this, and a couple of the 632 people would too, PDRA people. If we were back at the old schedule where we left Ohio in June, like this next race, beginning in the June, and then we had that break. My shit's already sitting in Ohio. If there was a Milan race, Milan race, just go over there, and then let's go to Michigan right after that, right? Because we're always there. But they don't do that. I don't care what sanctioning I race or what it is I race. They always got us going here, there, over here. I'm like, can we make a circle?
Right. Yeah, seriously.
You gotta have a flow, right?
Easier.
Right.
I mean, it's like the NHRA, they have their West Coast swing. All the races are on that West Coast for that whole period because in all the rigs, the cars, everything stays out there. They don't drive it across the country every weekend.
Right.
It stays out there and they hit race to race to race to race. It's a long haul across the country.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a long haul to Michigan too, but it's still doable.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if you get to a point where you can just I got plenty of places to leave stuff over there. I got, I can leave stuff at Douglas Skater in Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right there, you know what I mean? Easy for me, and that's it. But it's just, I just don't get it. I don't think I know they're trying to work around conflicting schedules of racetracks and stuff like that. But with all that going on with the local count and everything, and we did spark up a lot of interest. Somebody on the last show, I don't know if you guys paid attention, but I said, why don't we have, we had Troy on, I'm like, why don't we have a local 632 thing going on down here in Florida like we used to have?
Right.
Yeah.
And it brought up a conversation on my Facebook page, Gladiator X. It brought up a conversation, but it still comes down to the same thing. It's going to be the same, no matter what, it's going to be the same group of cars because nobody else wants to come out.
Right.
They want to go back to old school rules, what you guys have, and I'm going to ask about that in a moment. But they want to go back to old school rules. I'm like, okay, so what's that? Where's that put a PDRA car? Or if it's 2,600 pounds, I wish we didn't go 25 a PDRA because we're 25.75, throw 25 in, and I'm there. I'm good to go, right? 25 pounds is a big deal adding to, So I was like, all right, we'll look at it, we go on it. But it came down, the same question came up. If I move forward with doing something in Florida, who's going to show up? And it was crickets.
Yeah.
And then thought about, how about we go to South, instead of somewhere in Florida, why don't we just go to South Georgia for me and Patrick? Well, for me, that's just another 2 hours up the road. It's probably an hour for him up the road.
Yeah.
And that way we can bring some of the people from North Carolina will come down once a month. But I mean, we could do that in the winter side of it.
Yeah.
Easier, but it's still a trek for you guys. I mean, you get those mountains, you know what I mean? No matter what, you guys get those mountains to come through.
Right.
But how do we get around this and make this big? And this is when me and Patrick were talking about it, and I'm like, and I got the idea actually came from Jason. Here I go again. I'm gonna draw a blank. Harris, Jason Harris. I says, man, I'm running out of content. And he goes, talk more about the people, what they do outside of racing. I was like, okay. So as I'm doing this, I'm like, why limit it just to PDRA 632? And that's why last week we brought,
Right.
Troy on, blah blah blah. Let's talk about what's going on up there. Give us the heads up. And I watched all weekend. I posted all weekend as much as I could. But I did get confused, Kyle, because I didn't see you on they called it a qualifying sheet. I'm like, and then all of a sudden he's racing. I'm like, well, how did that happen?
Yeah.
Right.
He just showed up and raced and
yeah,
won.
like,
Yeah. Well,
yeah, and then he wins. Right? We fight him qualifying, he wins. How's that happen? Chip draw. So I had mentioned chip draw for PDRA just to take that number one qualifier and maybe give somebody like Mr. Hood a chance to go another round.
yeah.
Right? Maybe get somebody. He gets a break, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So, and I mean, I get shot down like the Red Baron. But how do you guys like the chip draw?
Well, I mean, it was the first time doing it for us. Besides, I guess that last PDRA race where I drew her, which was no fun. But I guess I lucked out there. But I don't know. I mean, obviously it worked out in my favor because IHRA chose to let me into eliminations, even though I didn't make a qualifying round. Now, obviously, that probably wouldn't have been the case if it was a legitimate ladder. So, I mean, that part's good. And I mean, maybe for people who, like you're saying, local racers or something like that, who can't take off Thursday, Friday, and they just have that one day to race. Like, all right, well, I know I can show up on Saturday and they'll still let me race. That helps. But so I believe it was a little different because I think Milan was planning on just having the racers do the drawing, and IHRA decided they're going to do it themselves. I assume for time efficiency, but we're not sure. But
Yes, we actually didn't pull our own chips for this event. The Milan stuff is supposed to be, but yeah, IHRA opted to pull chips for us, and that's where all the confusion came in.
Okay.
We bought Kyle's tech card prior to Q3, and they told us we didn't have to make the pass in order for him to race, so we kind of shuffled some priority around where, like, I took my second qualifier. I would have probably skipped it if we were still trying to thrash to get him together for third qualifier and just all that stuff. And so somehow his tech card got missed when they posted like the final. I don't want to call it a qualifying sheet, but basically, yeah, the qualifying sheet. And then when they did the chip draw, so there was a little bit of drama with that the next morning when they changed up the new chip draw polls, but yeah, it's I don't know. I like it. I like the idea of it. I get it both ways. Like, a ladder to me has a lot of value to it for a pro class, and just shows how hard you worked for everything. Like us going out there, we were number one qualifier. It feels great for that, but I also seeing like at Milan 2 years ago, we were number one qualifier quite a bit. There's one other car there that would run right with us pretty much. But it's nice to not have to always, the last qualifier, have to run number one first round, like you're saying with Gary.
It puts competitive to us. It makes you be more competitive because you don't know if you have one or you have the number two qualifier.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And I mean, for example, I had to run Doug second round. So he was number two qualifier, I think, 2 or 3 qualifier. He was running right there with me. He was running, I think he ran a 26 in qualifying. I ran a 24. So that wouldn't have really happened if you had a ladder. So one of the fast cars got taken out earlier. It makes it a little bit more interesting.
I think
I'm interested in it. I mean, I wish some of the other guys in the class would get interested in it. I mean, well, we don't. we don't have Jeff anymore, so that kind of sucks in a way. You know,
We heard about
we
that.
don't know. We don't know if the car's coming back, and that's another suck. But you know, when somebody's that dominant all the time, it's just like, you
Yeah.
know, we
Right.
both, all three of us have been, all four of us have been like, oh,
Mhm.
all right, Jeff.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it's like, can you get a hole in your tire or something while you're going to the burnout box? Can you help me out here or something? Dead battery, something, please. You know, throw me a
Hey,
bone.
hey, the dead battery in front of me several times though.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
something they did have a plague with. They would forget the battery because that's the most
Hey.
forgetful thing is to plug the battery in. So
Make sure it's all plugged in. That's what happened to me. Thank God the rain in Virginia. I thought it was plugged in, and it was not plugged in the back of the. It was plugged into the car, but it wasn't plugged into the back of the charger.
Yeah.
Oh.
Something loose or something. Yeah. Yeah.
I go,
I've been there.
oh no, and it fired up. But I mean, we went 11. I mean, sorry, 422 on 11 volts.
Oh wow.
I was
Well,
like,
just
man,
been
if I had another 5 in that thing, we'd be good.
Right.
But it happens. But I mean, I'm very interested in that chip drawer. I wish we could, you know, change that up a little bit. Far as you know, the local racing stuff. I mean, you guys got it down pat up there, and you're very fortunate. I mean, no matter what, we have to travel. You know,
Right.
and I mean, I wish that we could get something local. I just don't think we have cars here. That's like we have cars here in Florida that can. I mean, you see him, Kyle, when you came down a couple of times for
right.
you know,
Oh yeah, they're there for snowbirds, and well, you know, when we used to have
yeah.
snowbirds or US Street.
And I just this week I had my TV playing on my toolbox, and I was playing Race 632 stuff from YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who's that guy? What's that car? And I'm trying to write names down. So I'm like, I'm going to chase these people down and see why they don't come. You know what I mean? Let's
Right.
figure this out. You
Yeah.
know, what's the big thing? And I know it's PDRA, man. It's like the best of the best. I don't care if you're a junior dragster or if you're a 632 car. I mean,
Oh yeah.
you go somewhere else and a PDRA car shows up, and whether it's a junior dragster or not, you know, the junior kids are going, shit,
Yeah.
it's a PDRA car and it's here,
Yeah.
you know, and I get it. When I first started racing with Matt, Matt was a big NHRA racer. So we would go to Orlando or Bradenton, and you hear everybody, what is that NHRA guy? Blah 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 blah. And like he runs, you know, he runs for the championship, and Matt does. I mean, they raced all over the country in divisional stuff for championship stuff. And that, I don't know if you guys ever seen it, was the White Firebird. It was sponsored by the sheriff's department, and that was a killer. That would have been a killer 632 car for somebody. And then that car sold for $27,000 turnkey.
Wow.
Really.
Ran 410s
That's crazy.
Wow.
with a 598 and 2 kits. I think it was and it print tickets, man. I think it was printed. It's the old Eagle One Pro Stock car.
Okay.
Okay. Nice.
And actually, the guy bought it, hasn't even taken it out of the trail, and he's putting it for sale again.
Fortunately, that's usually how it works.
Right? I get it. How's all right now? The weight breaks. You guys are pretty comfortable with the weight breaks you guys got going on up in Milan.
I mean, it seems like they're pretty good. So the multi-kit for Kyle. So I come out there PDRA legal. 2550 is what I have to weigh. Kyle had to be 2,800 pounds for 240 jets. We're both 3-speed non-lockup. So very, very easy for us to compare apples to apples with the motor combinations because we know both of our chassis really well.
Yeah.
And I mean, we had him going, well, actually in testing right before. So we heard his motor on Thursday in testing.
Which is why we didn't make Friday qualifying.
Yeah, so we had a bad map sensor. It sent the injector duty cycles haywire and just
Leaned it out down the track.
so we were changing pistons on Friday, but on that pass he ran a 24, a 24 something, same day, same air conditions. I ran a 23. So and we had I had a tired motor where we don't have as many runs on his motor, so I do think their weight comparison there right now is pretty good.
And
At
you
least
said
for those two.
240 jets.
Yes. Yeah. We also have a single 44 option. I do feel like that one right now they have it a little bit heavy because it's, what is it, only 50 pounds off.
Mhm.
So you only get to take 50 pounds off for a single 44 from the 2800 that he is. I don't think that's enough, but
I don't think anybody runs it.
no, yeah, it's hard to say. 'Cause
So that was-
What's
That
the
was gonna
weight
be my next
on
question.
the 44 jet?
on the 44,
Yeah.
2750.
I mean, if I don't lose no weight, I'm that heavy anyway. So,
Yeah.
so how many actual variations of engine combinations were there this weekend?
Just the two. It was either single 36, which I think Doug and I and my cousin Vince Corey, I think we were the only three that were running single 36. And then everyone else is a dual kit, as far as I know.
Hey, Vinny, I know you're online. What you running?
He ran a
Well,
single.
that's a good question. He's got to be a single 36 if he's PDRA.
If he's gonna run the PDRA, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Here. I'll put it up there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, 36.
So everyone but Kyle was a 36 jet.
The fat of the competitive, like the more competitive cars, yes.
And the other ones had a 44 jet, 244s.
240 jets, yeah.
Or 240 jets, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So-
I should actually there is one other competitive car, Dave. He is a dual 40 also, I believe.
And that's at 28, you said 2,800 pounds?
Yes, 2800.
I mean, if we just look at rule sets, I mean, I know Phil always talking about being heavy. He run 240s at 2,800 pounds. If we go that route, Jason, and try to build out a rule set that's not overly complicated, but not having 50 different, combinations.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, my biggest question when I posed, I don't know if you guys have read any of it, was like, who's going to police it, right? It's hard to police what we had at 630, in 632 at PDRA with two tech guys.
Right.
At that point, you need two tech guys just for 632.
Yeah, 632.
Crazy, right? Just to go check everybody's stuff, because we both know, well, all four of us know that you could, back in the day, you could get away with some shit and be pretty fast before anybody figured out what was going on.
Right.
And not every racer wants to race that way, but there are races that will race that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the gray line. They're not going to directly cheat, but they're going to put their foot right on the edge of it and walk up of it. I said it a million times, and finally changed. I go, you better change that one kit wording. And he's like, why? I go, because if I go and I buy a Viper kit, a V10 Viper kit, and I put it on my big block Chevrolet, you said one kit. You don't say how many jets are in a kit.
Yeah.
And then finally this year they came out because I said, Vinny, I'm going to go buy me a Viper kit. I'm going to finish this. I mean, what, you know what I mean? So you change it.
Right.
We all know if you can get ahead the first half of the season and you're ahead, it's hard for everybody else to catch you.
Oh, yeah.
You look at JC now and it's like, man, that's hard to catch.
Right.
And now you lost the race, or are we doing a double header?
No, we got 3 races left. I think we should do it. I think one race should be a double points just to make up for Virginia, but that's my thoughts on it, But now, do you feel that the guys that are running the double kits with the 44 or the 40, are they really just don't want to work on their stuff, and that's why they're running that?
I mean, I think there's a difference of like a couple things. I think budget's one of them. I think as long as you're not completely pushing that motor, because you can push those also and hurt them way more. But if they're just out there running that combination, it's easier to go faster. So as long as they know enough not to hurt it, then it might be more budget friendly than trying to flog a 36 jet combination and spend all the money on the horsepower end of it. But then also the guys, I feel bad calling them lazy, but they don't test like we do. Last year, before, like during PDRA races, we were out testing 1 or 2 test sessions between each race on top of it, just to figure out the car out. These guys, they don't do that. They come out just on Thursday, maybe. It's $300 to test during the rental, and they're not even always there. They might just unload Friday and see what they're dealing with. So
Like a bracket racer.
yeah.
I mean, I'm in that boat too, right? I didn't have the opportunity to go testing all the time,
Right.
whether it's work or
That's another thing.
equipment. So you're in that position, and not really because you're constantly working on trying to improve your H pattern, awesome transmissions. But when you have the ability to test constantly, you're always going to be in the front.
Oh yeah.
And if you're doing that regularly, you're always going to have that edge, not because you are that better of equipment. It's just you tune that equipment that much better.
Yeah.
And you can't tune equipment inside of a trailer. It has to be on the track or on the hub dyno, getting it fine tuned.
Yeah.
Now, since y'all run confusion on why you would have two different combinations,
So
I think one combination and getting data for both cars and making them both equally fast is easier than tuning two different combinations, completely engine and weight wise,
oh yeah.
and the 3-speed. So, what drives the two different combinations in the Liberty camp?
That one was mainly trying to prove a point and stir the pot, because a lot of people were saying that the 36 jet combination is too fast. So we were trying to prove a point that it is not. The 40-40 combination is equally as fast.
Faster.
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
It's faster.
Oh, exactly. We really do think it's faster, because we only had a handful of runs on Kyle's and he was already right there with us. We're going to come out to this next event with the multi-system and his again. And then we're going to change gears and go back to the two single 36s in hopes of coming to maybe the last PDRA race with both cars.
But you look at Doug's car. You look at the Shameless car, and that's been a 2-kit car forever.
Right.
And they just toyed with us for years.
Yeah. We were just trying to prove a point, and I think we already kind of did, but we're going to solidify it at the next event and then come back to PDRA rule set. So,
because I think, well, we said you guys are going to work on your program for a 2-kit car.
Yep.
I think other guys go, okay, I went a 30. All right.
Right.
I'll go get me 8 sets of spark plugs. I'll show up at the next race. I'm good to go. I got some nitrous. All right, we're good. It's another question that came up to me the other day. We were talking. It was like I was on the phone with somebody. We're talking about a local racer here, and I go, his tires are probably 5 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He hasn't even bought a set of tires, because the car sits and he just shows up and he's got old tires on this shit.
Tires are expensive. They're $1,200.
Oh, hey.
I mean, if you only show up once a year, it's kind of
that's
hard
that,
to
that's that
justify
H brand
$1,200.
tire. That's for the H brand tire, not for the M&T.
Oh, so there's a $2,400. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It depends if you run a sticker or not. That's what that all comes down to. Now, point system up there, are they basically the same as PDRA?
Yeah, I think so. I guess I'm not. Oh no, it's only 10 points around, and then first, second, third qualifier get 3, 2, and 1 points.
So you guys got very low numbers on the outcome.
Yes. Yep.
It looks better than when you look at JC right now at 1,000 and something.
I know it feels. Yes, PDRA felt so unattainable, even though it's not. It's just it's so exaggerated. That's all.
I'm like, there's, like I said earlier, there's 75 or 78 points between me and Doug, but I think there's 300 and something between me and Junior.
Okay.
All right, I don't even go 300. It's 3 rounds. I'm like, we got to put a bounty on that kid to slow him down. Hell with the one on JC,
So David Fallon says we shall see. Is Mr. Fallon, you running the 2-kit car still, or is he running a single kit car?
He's 2. I just don't know if he's true unlimited or dual 40-40. So there is also an option for true unlimited. I don't think that one's beneficial because we're limited with 1 bottle. So at some point, nitrous pressure makes a difference down track. And I don't think I don't know the weight difference, but I don't know that that's a beneficial combination.
And it was funny because we were talking about David Fallon the other day. I'm like, Patrick goes, "Who's the guy with the white car? Remember the white car that shows up?" And I'm like, "We're getting old, man. I can't remember people." And it came up. We were both talking to each other while the race was on. He goes, "That's it right there." And I'm like, "Okay." David Fallon. I'm like, you don't we see him once a year, right? Michigan, maybe.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, and I get the expense right now to travel race is just out of control.
The fuel costs are out of control, and with everything going on, he's on dual 40s.
Yeah,
So,
and that's a fast combination.
Mm-hmm.
The cost of fuel is what's causing a lot of
Yes,
heartbreak because to leave the state of Florida it costs $1,000. So
yeah. Troy had said that Doug may be out for the rest of the year for PDRA because of the fuel cost, which I get. I mean, you guys are at the top. I'm at the bottom, so I get it, right? We got to both meet each other in the middle.
Right.
And every time you leave, it's like you guys got to pull mountains. I don't have to, but
Yeah.
it's still I got to come all the way from the bottom of the state
Right.
and making my way up.
Right.
And we're probably between the two of us. I would think the fuel cost is almost the same. I think I'm roughly probably about $1,200 to $1,500 to get there. To get to a race, to get out of Florida. So
Yeah.
almost a $3,000 bill, and I haven't even, we haven't even paid the entry fee.
Right.
So I get to stand back because by the time he buys round trip fuel for the rig to get it there, and then the entry fee for PDRA because it's a lot more money what you guys pay at Milan. He can fly Bill in, put him in a hotel room, and pay Troy and Bill for the weekend on what the fuel cost is.
Right.
So I understand. I mean, like I said, I hate to see him not come. One, I hate to lose another car. And we're so close in points. I would hate to take fourth. That way, I'd want to earn it.
Sure.
Right.
Because now I'm gonna okay, I went around Doug. You know what I mean? Instead of going, is he still in?
Oh yeah.
Where's he at? What did he qualify at?
Yeah.
So, because the next step again, like I said earlier, it's too far down the road. I mean, Junior's too far ahead. So you guys are all pretty comfortable with the competition in the class up there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was a couple cars that weren't there that were had
Regular.
potential for be pretty heavy hitters too. So, I mean, I don't know what happened with them, but hopefully they'll be at the next one. But there's pretty decent competition. I mean, obviously, like you're saying, PDRA is a different world.
Yeah.
You saw the times from this weekend and an average PDRA time. So, But,
well, I mean, obviously, I was cheering on my PDRA friends, right, to do great, and I seen Nicole's numbers, and I was, wait a minute here, let me go look where they're at. I'm like 108 air. She's doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Car's fast, you know what I mean? And it was like, a couple of people like, what do you mean fast? I go, she went 22, and I'm like, that's 108 air. That car, that'd be like a 15, 16, maybe a 17 pass on a high end.
Yeah.
If we were in one flat.
Right.
And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, no, she's right there. She's right in the money. She got a fast car. And they just don't get it. You know what I mean? You got to look at all the variables when you look at the numbers. Vinny will be back. So hopefully Vinny will swap out for Doug at the end of the season.
Right.
I know he's
we
got
don't
a
need
lot.
swap-outs, Jason. We need more cars. We need
Yeah.
the two Liberty cars there.
I know.
We talked about it this weekend. We said, but just a lot of the reason is because we hurt my motor to the degree that it did. But that's why we're going to leave Kyle's for this next race, multi. But after that, because that's our second 36 jet. Is my good one is going together right now. That'll go in my car for Milan, and then I got to rebuild this one. Yeah, good. It is a little bit faster. It was
The good one, Jason.
Yeah, the good one.
She ran 22 on the bad one, right? So
I'm going to rebuild that.
Wait, I always get the junk.
Right.
Hand-me-downs. I got
Yeah.
hand-me-downs.
So we'll put that in his car and then change gears and try to make it out to a PDRA race.
Side note, Kyle, I heard you were a big hockey guy.
Yeah, I played since I was like 5 years old. So
You could almost pass for a Canadian Yaga.
I guess, almost take offense to that, but all right.
Oh
Come
wow!
on now, you still got the hockey beard going on and the hair.
Yeah.
Was that down here in Florida? Or is that up there?
Yep. No, it's all in Florida.
There's a lot of hockey in Florida, Jason.
Yeah, people don't understand. It's
Listen, there's
it's
two
very
rinks.
yeah,
There's two
very
rinks
big.
by me.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the hockey in Tampa is crazy. There's a hockey. You wouldn't even know there's an ice rink down the road. It's a private camp that's just for hockey players.
Really?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's 100 degrees outside. You go inside, it's 20. I mean, it's
Oh yeah.
Right.
That was the
trade-off.
best. That's for sure.
All I got is the Bruins. That's all I got to say.
So I've been hearing a printer running.
What's that?
I said, I've been hearing a 3D printer printing.
Not me.
So yeah, it's actually the rain is going right now here pretty bad, but my printer was going earlier. It's not racing related. I shot a turkey a few weeks ago, and I'm making the mount for the fan. So
I know you post pictures of the poor turkey.
yeah,
It's not even turkey season, is it?
not anymore. It ended in May. But I actually did just draw up some spark plug holders that we want. That it's I'm gonna print those tomorrow. They're just to fit on like the dry sump tank cap. So that way, like, you don't knock them over, because that's just where we set our plugs. And I'm sure one day someone's gonna knock it over. But
Gotcha.
yeah,
Yeah. If you guys could change something in 632, what would it be?
That's a tough question.
that is a tough question.
Come on, Kyle.
I mean, I think I kind of agree with what you were saying, was maybe a little bit more tech help for the 632 class, just in-depth focus tech for 632. I don't know, dial the rules in to everybody's liking a little bit better. Obviously, I'm not saying they're like far apart now, but I think, some little adjustments can be made, but it's just, I don't know. It spreads so thin, I think, and then, you do have the people, especially with PDRA, who just nonstop test, and, they have the time and money to just throw everything at their application, and to where, especially right now, a lot of people don't have that time and money. So, but I mean, they deserve, their fortune for what they're doing. So, it's hard to say that their combination is going to be better than the guy who just can't put the effort in. But I don't know.
I mean, you talk about that one. I mean, what JC say? He wore out the engine between testing the first race and had to have it rebuilt by the end of the second race because it was already wore out, and only 2 races because of just pure testing.
Yeah.
Well, we rebuilt mine, I think, 3 times last year, just between learning and testing, and we definitely sacrificed a lot of work last year to do as much testing as we did.
I mean, I tested a lot last year because I just had a car that didn't go down, and it was in between races. It was Thursday nights, because we don't get Saturday and Sunday testing here. And the closest track for me, I'm wearing it out, but 4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got to go to Bradenton or Orlando, and either one of them is 4 hours.
Okay.
Until hopefully somebody with an IHRA buys West Palm Beach again, then I'll have a 45-minute ride to the racetrack.
That'll be nice, yeah.
It would be. I would like to go back there and race. That was a good track. And bringing this, another thing I noticed over the week, a little side topic off of 632, but it was all about 632 in a way. You guys noticed that we don't have, back home in New England, we had the Colonial Classic, the Super Chevy weekend. I think Super Chevy's done. But we had the Colonial Classic. We had the Fall Nationals. We had that. Down here in Florida, we had the Citrus Nationals at West Palm. And all those small little national things. There was jet cars, there was wheel stand or two, and then there was 632 class, and maybe whatever else. And that's how I found 632. Believe it or not, was going to the Citrus National. They had a West Palm, I believe at the time, was having a nationals like every two months. Was it? You guys were showing up. Pat?
We
Well,
would
you were
go
at the time, but
a couple times a month,
yeah,
and it was a drive for us because we're driving from
yeah.
Lakeland to West Palm, and that's a 4-hour drive. So,
But it was a weekend thing, but it brought a show in, right? So we all, as racers, we as much as we hate them, a jet car and some old funny cars or dragsters or whatever have you, nostalgic stuff.
The Willie cars, the cool bus,
Yeah,
the jet
bring
cars, they
people in the door.
definitely bring people in.
You
But
know?
Jason,
I mean, look at the Martin race from PDRA.
Yeah.
Isn't that the biggest car count
Yeah,
they have every year? You know,
correct.
that race was insane every time. It completely packed the stands.
It was an awesome race, even though it was in Michigan.
Right.
Not only is it not happening at PDRA, but it's not happening at the local level either, right? So Bradenton's not doing it. Orlando ain't doing it. I went and looked on a schedule to see where I could find a fit in a 632 race, jump in on something. And there is no summer nationals or whatever, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All you got is these big dollar races all the time now.
Right.
So everywhere you go, it's a big dollar bracket race or it's a big dollar import race. And there's nothing really, we'll call it for the kids, right? Because that's what parents bring the kids to see the jet truck or the jet car, the funny cars and stuff like that, right? And there's just none of that. And I think we're missing the boat on a lot of stuff by not future stuff, I should say, like the younger generation. They're not grasping a hold of 65, 350 something plus pro mods.
Right.
They're not getting. I mean, and then Westbuck's doing a great job. Awesome job promoting. The pro mod. The thing. I wish he would help us promote 632.
Right.
Put one of us on the show at something and ask us a bunch of dumb questions. We can act like goofballs and answer them the best of our knowledge. But and we have been tagging Drag Illustrated and everything now.
Yeah.
Just so we can get somebody go, because I don't have a number for Wes, and I reach out to a couple people and they're like, no, if he wants to talk to you, he'll talk to you. But if we can get on there and promote it that way, but I think if we could get local stuff in, because like you said, when we're up in Michigan, the amount of people that are at your trailer, one year we ran out of cards and shirts for kids.
Oh yeah.
This is nuts because we don't charge kids for the shirts.
Oh really?
Us just gives them away. She's like, here. And I'm like, 10, 20, 30. I'm like, okay, it's a kid, right? But it's a kid, right? So what else do we do this for? So, but I think if we could get back, the tracks could get back to that, I think the crowd would be bigger. Even if they leave when we're up at listen, they're always going to leave when we're there. They're going to leave when Mountain Motor Pro Stock gets up there. They're going to leave when we're up there. They'll stay when the pro mods are there. If there's fuel cards, they'll stay for that, obviously. But grasp a hold of it. You know what I mean? But at the lower level, the local level, we are the show, right? At that point, if you're at Milan, you guys are the show.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is the show, right? But Billy Gibson, I think at one time, I hate to call him an old pro modder because he's only like 50 something years old, but he was a match racer. You guys get paid to make laps.
Yeah.
I think as track owners, you might need to look at some of that and the big dollar race is great, but does it actually bring people in? It brings racers in, but does it bring the people in?
Right.
And what's that number, right, guys? Everybody here except for Patrick is a business. What's the number? Are you making money on the new shift, the new transmission, or the old one? Right. Where am I making my money at? Did we just waste all this R&D to come up with this transmission? It's nobody's buying it, and we need to go.
Everybody's scared of that transmission.
Oh, yeah. we're right now waiting for July 1st to see what the rules are going to be for World Cup is a big one. We've got deposits down, but nobody wants to order to go out yet because we don't know if they're going to put weight on it or how they're going to set it up in the class right now. They did say it's legal, but we don't know how bad it's going to get penalized. So
Now, how many speeds is that transmission?
that one's only a 4. We are going to make a 5 and a 6 at some point, which I think that'll do a lot better for drag and drive because you'll be able to get an overdrive in it.
And street cars.
Yeah, street
Yes.
cars for sure.
That's where I was going with that because we do have a car we're building, and
Okay.
it's an all aluminum 632 and a rotor stop chassis.
Okay, nice.
70 Camaro, and was going to put a 5-speed in it, and I'm like, when you guys came out, I was like, we ain't got a tunnel in the car yet, but if we get my hands on one of those things and make it fit,
Yeah.
How streetable is that?
I mean, it's the guys right now that are testing it, I mean, John has no issue with it at all, right?
No.
So Kyle, we've been sending Kyle to the races to go help the couple guys that have him out there in case they need anything, but it's been pretty smooth sailing for them. I mean, they said it feels great, it shifts great. So I'd like to put one in our own car, but that's kind of down the priority list right now, just to feel it. I don't know, more for fun than anything. But
Now, is it downshiftable or no?
yeah, yep,
It is.
yes.
What's the price tag on that retail?
They're 15.3 right now, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 15.3.
And how much wider is it than a Tremec?
It's not, is
maybe
it?
like roughly half an inch.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really not that much wider. It just looks intimidating because it's the whole entire trans is roughly that wide. But no, it's really not that much wider than
And interchangeable gear shafts like everything else, right? All your other stuff.
Right.
Yep.
Interesting. Because you mean by the time you buy a Tremec, you're a little bit more money for your stuff. But I know you. I don't know Tremec.
Right.
Right. I mean, and it depends on what you're running. Like the stick shift guys, they're spending upwards of or north of 20 grand on a full billet T56. And
Yes.
it's nowhere remotely as strong, efficient, and you don't need a spare with ours. I mean, you can go in there, change ratios. It's not going to break. It's going to be a lot more reliable. So, and it's $5,000 cheaper. So,
Gotcha. It's just shifter location. How do you make that work with a 70 Camaro center console? You don't.
we'll probably
Yeah.
make it work. We'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'd have to make some custom billet stuff, but probably
just
figure it
You just got.
I'm hearing the dollars fall on the floor right now.
out.
Probably not dollars, or probably hundreds. Well, that's good to know. I mean, another thing I like to touch on is so your off time and a little bit that you get. What do you guys do other than shoot turkeys?
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Really, is hunting. And I mean, we try to have a social life, a little bit of one, somewhat.
Yeah, we're here all the time. I mean, especially with the race cars. I mean, you never know. We'll be here. Sometimes we'll leave at 6. Sometimes we'll leave at 9. I mean, you just never know. And then on the weekends, most of the time we come to the shop. I mean, even when we go hunting, you still come to work first, or we come to work after. So
Yeah, we're
always here. That's just how it is. But I mean, we love it. So I guess that's why we don't really put effort into other things.
Gotcha. I understand. And I get that.
But Jason,
Yes.
Nicole never answered the question of what she would like changed in
Yes.
632. Kyle,
I
he wanted
also thought of something. Tim brought something up that I have an opinion on. But if you want to go ahead.
I mean, I wish there was a way that we could make it where it's true outlaw, but I realize that's nothing. That's never you're not going to be able to make that happen and make everything happy. But if you could just do 632 and run what you run, I think that'd be really cool and fun. It's just going to get way out of hand and too expensive for people.
Oh, within the second race.
Yeah. So
The first race, Jason.
Well, some people are going to see how far everybody's going to go, and then there's going to be that one guy that's going to show up with everything.
Yeah. You have Plarski there with the small block and
10 kits,
everything he can throw at it and
Right.
go
with a turbo.
a 380.
But
What's
no, I mean, I think it might be kind of interesting if we could limit tire size, just to see, like, if everyone had to go back to a 33 and a half.
Hold on a second, that's too small. Can we go at least 34.5?
Like, do you get a brake, Jason, with your tire size or no?
No.
There's no weight brakes.
Yeah,
No,
that's what I
that's
thought.
right.
So, we got these, like, I mean, the cars that we have, old Pro stock cars, they don't fit a 36-inch tire. And I feel like there is a benefit there, So maybe just start with weight penalties on the tire, and then maybe the smaller the tire, the less weight you get to take off, or the more weight you get to take off. I mean, I just feel like maybe that will also entice some other racers who are big time 10.5 guys or, something like that. I mean, radial is kind of hard to say, but I mean, the track doesn't really prep for radials, so you got to be good with getting a radial on the track.
Mickey's got that radio, buddy.
Yeah.
That's a bad girl.
That's for sure. But yeah, I feel like just a penalty on tire size would probably help maybe a little bit. Maybe it would entice some people to bring some other cars out. I don't know how big the penalty would be. We just have to test it. We just have to see what happens, but I think it would be worth it. Yeah, 25 pounds, just somewhere to start with.
Yeah.
I like I said at the last one, and I'll say it again. You guys have that lockup deal up there, and obviously it's a little bit a sore subject in PDRA at the moment, and I just don't think we need to have a lockup in the class. Does anybody run a lockup up there?
We were the only ones doing it that I can think of. Vincey's not lockup, right? No, Vincey's
No.
on lockup.
Yeah, I mean, we tested.
Go ahead.
We tested my car twice before this race with a lockup setup, and then right beforehand we ended up switching over to the non-lockup. But it was also, we were testing with a single 44 as well, so I don't know why the dual non-lockup was basically our first time out with it. So
One thing we've kind of figured out is the lockup is beneficial when you start adding gears. So like a 3-speed lockup, I think you are still limited because it tugs the motor so much.
Yeah.
You start going 4 and 5-speed, you're going to see the benefit of a lockup, I think. So, like for him, what we're trying to do, because the way Milan's rules are, you have a 25-pound penalty to a 4-speed or a 50-pound penalty to a 5-speed. And then I think it's 25 for a lockup.
Correct. Yep.
We were trying the 4-speed lockup for him originally, and it still wasn't quite enough. The drops were still too aggressive. So we're like, all right, for the 50 pounds and how much it's really beating on the motor, it's not worth it. So that's why we switched over to the non-lockup 3-speed. But I think, I don't know, I feel like you could get rid of the lockup because of the intimidation factor, and it might help too.
I mean, when you had Mark and Craig on here, didn't Mark say that he thinks his non-lockup is more efficient than, I don't know if he was comparing to even his own lockup, but Liberty, a drive unit lockup? He said, yeah, I guarantee it thing's more efficient than that lockup.
I do think 3-speed to 3-speed, that is very true.
I mean, Melanie got the lockup out of she got the lockup out of her car now.
Right.
She's on a straight turbo 400.
Yeah.
A lot of them are. A lot of them going back to just a non-lockup turbo 400. JC's onto something. You know what I mean?
I do think there's some fluid manipulation in there that they're starting to get their hands around big time. We're not familiar with it, so I don't exactly know what it is. But that
evidently, like, I'm one of the few cars that doesn't have fluid manipulation going on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Troy's got it.
Yeah.
You know, I think Ed McLemore has it. If he's on, he'll chime in. But there's a lot of cars that have it, and I don't have it. Well, let me rephrase that. I have it now. Haven't used it, but I have it now.
Okay.
Um,
So you'll be able to tell.
yeah, somebody put a post on. It was a post on Facebook. It was like, "What's the one thing that you could? What's the one thing you changed in your drag racing that was a benefit?" And I replied to it was like having great people behind the car. In this year, I mean, I got two good guys that came on board with us. I don't know if you guys know about it, but Chris Bell's helping out,
Okay.
and he came with Mike Foucher, which is a Motec tuner that I know from the marine side of things. By having those two come on, it's just I went down 10 runs in a row.
Yeah.
Fast. I'm like, okay, I'm on to something here, right? Better than, Kyle roll up on a side and goes, Jason, he's going to rattle tires. We're good. I'll just wait here a little bit, make sure, And I was a duck for a year and a half.
Yeah.
And we're making rounds, and I'm like, but that's, having good people behind the cars is tremendous.
Oh, it
And-
makes a huge difference. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. You know what I mean? Whether they're at the track or they're on the laptop, one way or the other, you have to have them.
No.
And that stuff. But other than that, it is what it is. I mean, I would. So me, I'm the lockup. I'm like, let's get rid of that thing. It's causing problems. I mean, you guys are 75 pounds with the 5-speed. We're 75 pounds with the 5-speed. Get rid of it.
I mean, who's running it in PDRA?
Pittman and Melnick's car.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I mean, listen, JC's fast and he's won 2 races, but Jeff Pittman is faster.
Yeah.
That's
And-
debatable.
That.
Huh?
It's debatable.
No, it's not. It's not debatable. The numbers don't lie. But Melnick is still the fastest. Well, that car is still the fastest. Whatever they changed something. I think they got a little lost, but that car is fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that car is fast.
That car is fast.
I agree.
So I mean, we can talk about rules till we're all blue in the face, but we simplified it. Nobody came. We had all the rules. Nobody came. So I'm just, how do we?
Yeah. At this point, I don't know if rules can even make people happy, like enough to come anyway.
No.
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
No, I mean, if somebody did, it'd be a $1 million answer. You know what I mean?
And the answer to more money brings more people is not there too, because Wes Buck says 50,000 to the winner, and no one else gets anything, and he has 60 pro mods there.
Right.
Yeah.
It's $125,000 to win, and he's paying back to the semi or quarters or the eighths.
The quarters, yeah. It might have been the 8 stack. I think it was the 8 if it was a full field.
If it was a 4 field, pay back all the way to the 8. So $125,000 to win, and if you lose, you're still getting a good chunk of change in
Right.
25, 26, 27 car score. I don't know. It's not necessarily the money, because people won't show up just for money. They want to show
Well,
up
I
for
mean,
the event.
For like 632 at Milan, that's like the most popular, or at least the biggest heads up class. And we have 10.5, we have LDR, some radial classes, and I think 632 is probably about the biggest car count. So then you look at, up and coming Pro 10.5, PDRA. I mean, sometimes their car count is insane, So it might have to do a lot with where the people are located. I mean, because like you're saying, Jason, down in Florida, there's no one that wants to race 632. I mean, the cars are there, but I don't know if just because they haven't been set up for a while, what the deal is. But Pro 10.5 here, there's not that many cars, But PDRA, it seems like everybody's building the cars for that class.
And it's like, why?
Yeah.
I mean, I think what we got going on is the coolest thing.
Yeah.
I cannot. When somebody goes, what's Pro632, and I get all I get all giddy. I'm like, oh man, this is a cool, small motor pro mod class and blah blah blah. I mean, it is what it is. That's what it is. It's a small motor pro mod class.
Yeah.
We're not a limited top sportsman class. You know what I mean? At the end of the day,
Right.
so that is what it is. And if it's a tire rule, and we think that can work. I mean, I don't make rules. I got to make that clear. I have nothing to do with make rules. I can have a conversation about it.
Right.
And hopefully, the gum sticks to the wall.
Right.
And that's all I can do, right?
Yep.
So, and I know Vinny's watching. If he's not watching right now, he'll be watching tomorrow or something like that. And so will Jeff. I mean, they watch and Tyler watches. So I get it. You know what I mean? And so, sometimes some things stick, and sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
I just want to make this better. We picked up you've probably seen some of the videos we posted. We had a videographer at Virginia. He was working for JC, and then I tagged along with him. And one of the things he's like, why do you do what you do? It was kind of like, because I believe in this. I believe in you guys. And I want to make it better than what it is. Because when I first started watching this in 2015 at West Palm, there was a ton of cars.
Yeah.
There was a ton. I mean, there'd be, 20, 25 cars showing up. And then by the time I get my car done, it's like, I'm like, this is just not what I was expecting, but okay. So I'd like to get it back to that. I mean, we are struggling, me and Chris and Patrick, to find ways to get it there. And, and I'm learning at this, right? So this has put me right out of my shell. Speaking on a computer every Wednesday night at 7:00, and asking questions and being responsible for other people. I'm kind of like, that's a you problem, and a me problem. I'm that type of person, really. But I want this to work, and I try to find different ways to promote it, and that's why I have a lot of oddball questions. And I put you on a spot. Go, what would you do to change it? You know what I mean? Just
Right.
to get your insight on it, because I don't want to be one-sided or blinded by it either way. And
Right.
neither does Patrick.
Right. Yeah, just the more opinions, the better. I mean,
Yeah, we
want to
spitball.
get back to where it was.
Yeah, we spitball stuff every day at about 3:30, 4:00 on his way home from work, and it's never ending. This is, for us, this has become a second job.
Yeah.
And I listen. I'm not bitching or complaining. I love doing it. Sometimes it does get a little hectic, but I'm like, okay, it's like this show starts. Believe it or not, we start doing this on Sunday.
Oh,
Sunday.
yeah.
Who are you thinking? What are we got going on? Blah blah blah. Can we line this one up? We had. He's been tied up. DSP Mark, right? Try to get him on. I think it's 4 times now. He's canceled on us, and he's like, "Man, I'm so sorry. This came up, that came up," and
he's all over the place.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah,
you don't need to be home to do this. You need a phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just the way that is. But we're getting to the end of it. We would like to cut this off about an hour, and Calvin's already saying good night.
He's out.
Yeah. Well, he's going to have his milk and cookies and then go take a nap. So you guys got a race. When's your next Milan race?
July 4th weekend, actually. It's on the 3rd.
Wow.
So they're normally only a 1-day deal. That's the other thing with Milan that's unique. The IHRA thing being a 2-day.
Yeah.
Typically, you have the rental testing on Thursday, but then Friday is qualifying and the race. So we're usually, I want to say they start at 10 a.m. and we're usually done around 2 a.m. So it's an adrenaline rush, and you're go, go, go. It's a lot of fun though. But
single day event. I mean, I would prefer a single day event on a Saturday, not on a Friday. But
yeah. But we tried. I shouldn't say we tried that. We have tried it last year with Milan. I think they kind of screwed up, and they put Q1 Friday night. They did the track rental Friday, Q1 Friday night, and then the rest of it on Saturday. And the problem is the air conditions were always better Friday evening for the first qualifier, so everyone still was taking Friday off to make that qualifier. I think they should have moved the entire thing to Saturday, but I don't know.
So one thing I do have, and I'm sorry, my son's been playing with my light switch and it's gotten dark over here. Letting us know what's going on at different events, or so we can talk about it after the fact. This one just so happened to be televised with the IHRA, which was extremely awesome for all of us that wasn't there to get to watch and say, okay, who's going to get this, right? I didn't know about the trip draw, which is even more compelling for me. I was like, hey, we could go do that. If Jordan was racing this weekend and my car was there, I would have been racing with y'all too, just because it'd have been fun.
Yeah.
But what we need, Jason and I, and everybody else in the 632 world, because when I started, what
homework assignment,
right?
Yeah,
is to post those pictures, from the event, the qualifying and all that stuff, and at Race 632, not just down Race 632, all that shit, but add it.
Text it to me.
I'll text it to Jason and myself, and we can post it and share y'all's qualifying, y'all's event going on. It's a 632 race, right? Yeah. When I started Race 632, I can't remember when we started. I started the Facebook page. It was because we had so many races everywhere, and no one knew about them.
Yeah.
So then that's when the car count started dwindling, and they started killing off the races, because we had 4 races in one weekend across Florida, South Georgia. And you have 4 events, you ain't got that many cars in the same area.
Yeah.
Then if you focus them, it's important, right? Yeah. So then it's kind of went away, and now it's really was Pro632, PDRA, NMCA at the time. When y'all were still racing NMCA stuff, I was still posting NMCA stuff because it was a 632 class, right?
Sure.
So we want to promote the Milan racing class as much as possible, and promote y'all's events, whatever y'all got going on there for the 632 class, as much as possible for content, and for hey, this is the class and it's going on, right? Not just we're not siloed to PDRA, that's why we have you on, right? But we want everyone to know about the 632 class. So get those people at your event. Get David Fallon to post some pictures, at Race 632, tag us so we can, share your content and stuff like that. And, help us, help each other build the class bigger and better. Personal perspective, if y'all are truly pushing both cars at its max capacity, the 240s and a single 32 or 36, whatever we've got, no, I can't remember anymore. And they're equal. Jason, if we try to push a Southern Florida 630 or Southern 632 series or class race, I think we have to have multiple system cars and a single system car, but at a weight that makes sense. But we have to have the comparable data. I mean, if you only have 2 laps on the car and you already pretty much on pace with the car you have 100 runs on, it doesn't really show that comparability,
Well, definitely. Yeah, we'll know more after this next race. But I think we'd be able to give you some pretty good information, just since we already know. We know the 2 cars during PDRA swapping same motors back and forth and all of that. The chassis worked really well, very identical. We've had we've had the Firebird set up with dual 40 kit in the past too, and I know the chassis reacts the same that the Cavalier does, and we have enough information. I think after the next race we should be able to tell you if they're comparable or if one's faster than the other. I do think the dual kit may be a little bit faster, but we'll see.
I agree with that. I'll agree with that all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a guy at Milan. His Instagram is Pro632 videos. I believe he does post on his YouTube like the recap. I don't know of the full race.
Sometimes he'll do live. Yeah, he'll do. I think it's.
Yeah,
live
he
on
might.
YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube Live. But I always see him post a recap on his YouTube page of the race. So that's one way to get a full recap of the race, because obviously Milan doesn't have their own stream.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
But I mean, if you get that data to us, we reach out, we tag them, we like it, and we post and share it, right?
right.
We post and share our original content, and post and share everybody else's,
Right.
and it's just to promote y'all and us all at the same time, right? To make it grow. So,
Oh, yeah.
Jason, you got anything else, sir?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm informed out. I'm in information overload right now. I got to process all this.
Okay, Kyle, Nicole, you have anything for everyone?
No,
I don't
just
think
appreciate
so.
you guys having us on.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Hey, once again, congratulations over the weekend. I mean, what better way to finish it is a 1-2 at the end of the weekend. Jason, you want to close us out?
All right. I'd like to obviously thank Procom's ELS for sponsoring the show. Mark Williams Enterprises for sponsoring PDRA 632. Do we have who's the main sponsor for Milan for 632? Do you guys have one
for the race weekend?
Yeah.
Or was it Liberty?
Amazon.
So no, Liberty. We had them pull our name off the class just so that way there was no conflict of interest there. I want to say AMSOIL is our sponsor this year.
Really? I'm sponsored by AMSOIL. We'd like to thank AMSOIL for sponsorship of the Milan race. And that's about it. I guess we'll see you all pretty soon, hopefully in Bristol. We can make
cool.
We had some good luck in Bristol last year. I was really upset that it rained out. But that would be awesome if we could do that.
All right. You can, Kyle, get hand-me-downs and you get a fresh motor. Poor
Yep.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Feel your pain, brother. Well, thanks again for coming on. Congratulations again. Keep up the good work. We now dubbed you the power couple of 632.
Thank you.
Right. And good luck with everything, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Yeah.
Sounds
Sounds good.
good.
Appreciate
Have
it,
a
guys.
good
Good night. Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Good night.
Bye.